Okay, I don't know how. But you guys, rest assured, if I knew how to do this, it would happen, okay? Alright class, settle down and let me tell you a story. Tonight, we're here to seek the answers as to why people hate VTubers. Before we do, please like, share, subscribe, do the whole notification button thing to help me out with the algo. And here we go. Alright, I believe we tackled this before when Connor or CA Dog VA went out to defend ironmouse. So, why do people hate VTubers? And I believe the answer is, why not? It's a collective joy. Some people have fun watching VTubers. Some people hate watching VTubers or just hate VTubers in general. Hating is an emotion that a lot of people can enjoy. That's why they band together and do the whole thing. You know what? If I, it speaks to the poem, if I can't take your joy, I will take your wrath. Something like that. So anyways, why don't we check out what Rima Evenstar has to say about the whole thing?
The VTuber phenomenon is undeniably divisive. Love them or hate them, VTubers are easy targets for those outside the community. After all, let's face it, they're often over the top and cringe, but embracing the cringe is part of the culture. After all, VTubing is intrinsically linked to anime, a medium that's delightfully cringe in its own wholesome way. VTubing, however, is a relatively recent development, emerging in 2016 with Kizuna Ai, a 3D model operated by various actresses. Japanese agencies like Hololive and Niji Sanji quickly adopted and refined the concept, creating idol-like streamers using L2D models and face tracking.
Hear me out, hear me out. What if we all just mind our own business and we can all be as cringe as we want to be in our own spaces? No need to go beyond that.
Technology. Essentially, they're anime girls operated by real people. These virtual idols eventually gained popularity in the West
and now
with the rise of both indies and
like
corporate English-speaking VTubers. Recently, VTubers have achieved remarkable success in the streaming world, shattering records and garnering mainstream attention. Pikora's 2024 Game Awards nomination and ironmouse's 2023 Content Creator of the Year award are just a few examples. This increased visibility, however, came with a downside. It also exposed VTubers to a wave of negativity from those who simply do not.
Hate is a basic emotion by people, or at least, it's a basic response to things that people don't understand. Boomers are usually guilty of this. They will snarl at anything that they don't understand. Ergo technology. But apparently it's not limited to boomers. Hate is not limited to a certain group of people.
Understand the culture. ironmouse's recent record-breaking subathon, where she broke Kaisenet's record with over 321,000 subscribers, becoming the most subscribed channel on Twitch, further amped up the hatred towards her and other VTubers, and sent the internet into a complete frenzy.
Wait, who is?
I'm dead ass cooked. I'm dead ass. I'm not even trolling. I'm cooked.
Grill your grill.
Oh no!
Oh
no!
It will always be on.
What if we're all just cool with each other and just, stay within our own spaces?
Eventually, the GOAT, Kaisenat himself, had to defend ironmouse and tell his audience to calm down.
That was cool of him.
I seen the majority of people hating on ironmouse for breaking the record. I'm not gonna lie. You feel what I'm saying? When you first look at the shit, you probably are wondering to yourself, what the fuck? This is weird. How the fuck this shit even happen? But chat.
That's actually a two-part reaction. Like, number one, if you're a fan of Kaisenat, how does this happen? How did a cartoon girl take over or basically just exceed Kaisenat? Or two, if this is the first time you're seeing this, what exactly am I watching? My first ever VTuber, or the first ever VTuber I saw, was Pikora. And I took a screenshot and sent it to a friend. What exactly am I watching here? It was awesome!
if you guys know your Twitch history and stuff, Iron Mouse has always been top 5 all time. She's always been on the leaderboards all time. You feel me? She's not nothing new.
Adding to the irony, Kai Cenat, in a gesture of good faith, even featured Iron Mouse in his subathon, showcasing the custom VTuber model she commissioned for him. This makes Cenat one of the few prominent content creators to actively challenge the negative stereotypes surrounding VTubers, despite having no direct involvement in the community. But we need more of that. These misconceptions and negative portrayals of VTubers have been leading to an increase in hateful comments, misinformation, threats, and doxing. But these occurrences aren't anything new. A quick glance at Iron Mouse's TikTok comment section will tell you all you need to know about the general feelings towards VTubers. And the wave of negative...
How ironic that most of these comments are coming from people with anime or video game characters as their avatar or as their profile pic.
Directed at VTubers shows no sign of slowing down. This year alone, face streamer Stable Ronaldo targeted VTuber Leah Kitties during an ASMR stream, directing significant negative attention towards her and using her stream as content for his own channel.
Wait, she's talking.
What's going on?
You say his name. Oh my god, she's talking about you.
This incident really showcased the vulnerability of VTubers to harass.
Are we cringe, lazy, and fake? Am I?
From those outside of the community, and the ease with which their content can be exploited for others' gains. So, why do people hate VTubers? But before we delve into the...
It's a collective emotion. Alright? Collective emotion. There's like a collective happiness, like, you know, the sports event. When people chant songs, there's going to be collective hatred. Same with sports. You hate the other team simply because, well, they're not you.
If you're familiar with VTubers, you've probably heard the claim that they're just all middle-aged men hiding behind an anime avatar preying on lonely hearts.
See? That's why I decided to stick with this one.
After all, girl stands for guy in real life, right? While that's a gross oversimplification, there are several factors fueling this perception.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, I'm
Is that an anime character?
Yeah. I'm an anime character. How's
Yes,
it going?
he is.
Where's the thing, Mousy?
What the fuck is that?
It's a bot that we have it on Discord.
Yeah, I'm a bot.
First, there's anonymity.
Probably
VTubers, like many other online creators, use pseudonyms.
Well, we all know how this face reveal turned out.
But on top of that, they use avatars, obscuring
God,
their
another
real-life
one. Corpse
identities. This lack of transparency can understandably breed distrust among those unfamiliar with the community. And yes, there has been bad actors who've tried to exploit this anonymity, using it to evade accountability for their actions. Thankfully, these individuals are usually quickly identified and ostracized. But it's crucial to remember that many VTubers choose anonymity.
Yeah. See, this is why I do this, okay? I can't sing.
For legitimate reasons, privacy, a desire to focus on their persona rather than their appearance, or even to protect their health. Asmongold put it plainly, some VTubers use Avatar because their physical appearance is irrelevant to their content. Others, like Iron Mouse, rely on avatars to continue creating despite their chronic illness, making it...
and we're gonna have to say it again. Her anonymity literally protects her life. It's self-preservation for her because if we remember a few months ago, there was this attempt because she was reported and her YouTube channel was shut down and she wasn't going to contest it. It was thanks to her community that it got brought back up. Apparently, there's a campaign against her to try to bring her down. Here's the thing. She wasn't going to contest the whole thing because it needed for her to actually reveal her identity to a third party, which she simply cannot do. Because if she reveals her identity, it's only a matter of time before she gets swatted. And here's the thing, right? If someone comes into her bubble because of her medical condition, she's literally going to die. That's the reason why she and Connor has yet to meet IRL. Or have they? I'm not really sure. I'm not updated with the whole thing. But anyways, that's the reason why.
impossible for them to perform as regular streamer or idols otherwise. The anonymity, while sometimes exploited, is also a tool that allows many VTubers to thrive and share their talents with the world. Unfortunately, some prominent content creators are actively contributing to the spread of harmful misinformation about VTubers. Recently, Aiden Ross, a hugely successful streamer who rose to fame on Twitch before moving to Kick, commented on ironmouse's record-breaking subathon, perpetuating negative stereotypes about VTubers.
Of course.
Wait, what? What the is this? I'm not even trying to be on no hating.
I mean, there's also stereotypes coming off from Kick streamers.
What the am I looking at? Can somebody give me the context behind this?
It's
I
an
saw this
anime
picture
girl.
earlier. I thought it was like some type of meme. It's a dude? No shit. Guys, anybody that's role-playing as this is a grown man.
For those unfamiliar with VTubers, these biased commentary shapes their initial perception of them and ends up causing a lot of harm. Two incidents in particular come to mind that have fueled this kind of misinformation, becoming widespread phenomena in the West. First, a glitch stream revealing a male streamer behind a female avatar sparked outrage and directed harassment towards the VTuber in the clip called Nora Cat. The media coverage misrepresented the situation, portraying the streamer as a deceptive individual manipulating his audience for profit. And just like a game of telephone,
You have to admit, the whole thing's funny though, right?
several tweets, forum posts, and content creators, although not necessarily intentional, helped spread this misinformation further. However, this portrayal was completely wrong. His viewers were fully aware of his gender. Noracat is what we call a babiniku in Japan. Babiniku is a
Japanese term for an online avatar depicting an anime-style female character used by content creators who are often, but not always, male. Okay, got it.
Japanese term for an online avatar depicting an anime-style female character used by content creators who are often, but not always, male. And
So, his audience, his fans, his community was completely aware of what he was, but since that clip made it to the US, or made it to non-fans or outside of his community, they were definitely going to misunderstand, or they definitely weren't going to understand the whole situation. That yes, these people know that this is the person behind this avatar is a dude. They know that, but of course, no one outside the community is going to understand it, and they're going to make the worst, or they're going to take the worst of it.
it's pretty common and not too far from male gamers that simply choose a female characters to play in video games because they just find them nicer to look at and other reasons.
All that noise.
And it really didn't help that news article written by out-of-touch boomers or videos like these, which garnered almost 1 million views, spread the false narrative that Noracat was pretending to be a woman to fish lonely men online.
A Japanese virtual YouTuber has been unmasked following a software glitch.
Due to the backlash, the streamer had to address overseas viewers and clarify the situation and explain that...
There we go, overseas viewers. Right? But his community, those from within, knew what was going on. They were aware of the entire situation. But, of course, everyone outside the community took it the wrong way and made the whole thing worse.
That Noracat was just a character. But unfortunately, in this day and age, clarifications never gain as much traction
what, like when actors go do drag or something, or cross-dress,
as the original outrage posts. And just like that, creators and netizens alike continue to use this lie to push this narrative that VTubers are scammers that take advantage of their audience. Recently, another streamer by the name of Quinn69 has made a gag where he portrayed himself as a female VTuber only to quote-unquote accidentally reveal himself while streaming. And sure, his audience was in on the joke and the gags as well. And okay, that comment was pretty funny. But at the same time, we know why they're laughing. This isn't the first time nor the last that we've heard these same jokes, these same comments. And while some of them are laughing with VTubers, I don't doubt...
I mean, like I said, hatred is a group emotion that, you know, some people enjoy, and you know what? Go for it. Whatever brings you joy.
That some of them are laughing at VTubers.
In that case, or that way, we all get to entertain both sides of the spectrum or both sides of the coin.
And while some viewers recognize this situation as a joke, once again, as the story spread, a significant portion of the internet misinterpreted it as a real VTuber accidentally revealing their identity to an unsuspected audience once again. This misinterpretation fueled a second wave of hate against VTubers, with the narrative spreading rapidly across Twitter, garnering millions of views. This is also not the first time that Quinn has made disparaging comments about his feelings towards VTubers, going so far as to claim that most VTubers fake their voice in the past.
Do I fake my voice?
Oh, fucking.
Does it sound like I fake my voice, you guys? How deep can I go anyway? The reason I don't do this whole deep voice thing is because we had that dummy daddy thing like way before during the house days. No, seriously, I don't do the whole deep voice anymore for the simple reason that it went a little bit too far during my time at the house. And I didn't like it, and no, we're not going to do any lewd stuff. But anyways, why don't we just keep going back at it?
I've just seen the VTubers on the side there. Fucking dude. Fucking
They'll
VTubers.
chill and fuck
Man,
off back
they
to
put
your
their
own
little
space.
VTuber avatars, some kawaii cute little cat girl, and they talk in this stupid fake fucking voice.
You can't beat us, man. Just join us.
Oh my god,
to the side.
I'm a little VTuber.
Does it hate? Does it increase hatred? Everything to the side.
So, I have a feeling he doesn't have such a good opinion about VTubers
No, he
in the first
definitely
place.
doesn't.
Which leads me to my next reason why people hate VTubers. VTubers are fake. A lot of people believe VTubers
Are we
either
fake?
fake their personalities or their voices. This is the case of mainstream streamer Brittany Vent.
Oh no, screw you guys. You didn't like my first history related stuff. You didn't like the whole calm and collected professor. So like I said, this is a reminder. We're going off all unhinged. You know how hard I've been holding myself back. So yeah, we're going on full gremlin. Alright? If I can, as much as I can. I'm just gonna have to take a lot of breaks because daddy ain't exactly spring chicken. I can't do this as hard. I can't go as hard as I can like I did before.
Who openly criticized ironmouse, claiming her high-pitched voice was faked, when in fact it is the result of her
Who's
chronic
here?
illness.
I need to know!
But who am I kidding? I'm just jealous, okay? She's naturally like
She
that.
probably
She just
is.
naturally talks like that. I'm sure.
She probably
It's
is.
not because she's a anime waifu.
Venti was even insensitive
And even if she didn't, it's definitely a persona.
enough to doubt the existence of Iron Mouse's disease, which is honestly not only seriously messed up, but these kinds of
Yes, it
remarks
is.
really
Messed up.
underscore the pervasive distrust surrounding VTubers in general.
That's what's so funny. She told y'all, no, we're gonna sit down and work through this, okay? You're telling
don't
me
have
she
to.
sat down here and told y'all, I have a condition.
Another misconception that I hear a lot is that VTubers are operated by AI.
But Chad, if you actually looked at her stream and actually kept up with what she's doing, you feel what I'm saying? Not only was it for a good cause, but it was pretty well put together for
Pretty well
for
done.
like AI shit.
While that is the case for Neurosama, a popular AI VTuber, most VTubers are operated by
AI will replace us all.
real people. Even with Neurosama, her enduring appeal comes from her creator, Vidal, and the funny interactions they share with other regulars on their stream. If Neurosama was purely AI, her novelty would have worn off much faster. Just like many
Would it? Would it?
other AI influencers have in the past. VTubers are cringe.
Can't have a singular comment.
I mean, they were left to their own devices, so it would definitely fail. But this one actually has the support of an entire community. It has an active support by its own creator.
Without kidding, going,
I have no idea what she's talking about this time.
VTubers are cringe. VTubers, with their exaggerated expressions and high energy
What?
streams, are often dismissed as cringe. Their commitment to
We are?
kayfabe, role-playing as their character, can feel over the top and inauthentic at times to those unfamiliar with the culture. But this is
Are we doing this over the top? Because I'm gonna go with a French accent later, alright? We're gonna play games. It's been so long. We're definitely going later.
A narrow view. The simple explanation is that many VTubers use avatars simply as a tool, showcasing their personalities without relying on elaborate role plays. Shibidoki and Filian, for example, are beloved for their hilarious personalities. Others, like Kersha, offer insightful political commentary. The VTuber landscape is incredibly diverse. There's a virtual idol or stream out there for every taste, mood, niche, and genre. But what does it mean to be cringe, really? Now, for the more complex explanation, I invite you to my Rima Deep Talk. Typically, cringing at others is simply vicarious embarrassment. Feeling their shame as if it were our own. It's that intensely uncomfortable feeling reserved for moments so cringe-worthy they haunt us years later.
I mean, guys, there's a line, okay? There's definitely a line.
Like that time you forgot to mute your mic on Discord and unleash your full-throated karaoke performance on unsuspected friends. Yeah, that still keeps me up at night years later. The unsettling power of cringe lies in its ability to trigger the same visceral reaction, whether directed inward or outward. While I believe cringing at someone else's deeds is often an act of empathy, mirroring another's shame, this explanation fell short when it applied to the unique context of VTubers. The quintessential internet cringe often involves a creator seemingly oblivious to their own awkwardness, their confidence unwavering despite objectively embarrassing behavior. Think of an onlooker stumbling across a VTuber with an overly produced kayfabe. They wouldn't feel empathy, it would be a different beast entirely. I would label this as cringing in contempt.
Hello.
So we can distinguish between empathy cringe and contempt cringe. Empathy cringe mirrors the creator's own discomfort. We feel their embarrassment. Contempt cringe, however, is fueled by a sense of superiority. We cringe at the VTuber, not with them, experiencing a distinct feeling of being better, more sophisticated, more self-aware. This is a type of cringe.
Are they? Are you?
I've encountered the most throughout my research, and I wanted to analyze why the same VTuber clips were used over and over again in these VTuber hate videos, and why they triggered.
Because it was already compiled and laziness was a part of the whole thing. I mean, it's already there, might as well use it again and again and again.
Such a visceral reaction. We cringe at the overly sexualized persona that falls flat.
You want to be my actual daddy?
Or the desperate attempt at relatability that feels forced and inauthentic.
Oh yeah, wait. What is it people wanted me to do? Is it?
Yeah. I don't even know what's going on with the whole Silent Tatsuki Doki Bird thing, but he definitely lost a lot of fans. I think we should check up on that. I think Rima Evenstar has a video on that, and we should, check it out as to what exactly happened with the entire thing. But I know for a fact that I know a lot of people that were hardcore fans of his, but he definitely lost them.
Is it that?
Bro, you just make the food? What are you doing?
This contempt, this feeling of being above the VTuber allows viewers to bypass any empathetic response and enjoy their humiliation without guilt. It's a perverse form of Schadenfreude where the creator's perceived failings justifies the viewer's amusement. The often exaggerated, over-the-top nature of VTuber personas, coupled with the inherent artifice of their virtual avatars, creates a fertile ground for this contempt cringe. It's become an us versus them dialogue. Part of the backlash against VTubers stems from their success and popularity. After all, any trendy phenomenon attracts detractors. But the criticism of VTubers runs deeper. It's fueled by two key factors. First, VTubing's roots in idol culture have drawn criticism for its inherent encouragement of parasocial relationships. The intense connection between fans and VTubers while creating strong bonds and communities community can also lead to unrealistic expectations and unhealthy obsessions. Second, the tendency to label fans as simps contributes to the negative perception of VTubers and their audience. This derogatory term diminishes the genuine emotional investment many fans have in their favorite creators and fuels the narrative that VTuber fandom is inherent.
But as small as I am, I've actually experienced a bit of parasocial, especially during my time at the house. It was flattering and terrifying at the same time.
Irrational and even pathetic, and that it's mostly consisted of white knights and quote-unquote losers.
For some odd reason, I feel like I can perfectly envision who wrote this comment. Yep, that's him right there. Get a life, man. Holy shit.
Up there, and everybody else is a fucking VTuber. Look at this. Bro, real girls are over. Done. Finished. Real girls are a thing of the past.
And while some VTubers might cultivate parasocial relationships, sometimes to an unhealthy degree, most creators maintain a wholesome connection with their fan base. Parasocial relationships, in fact, aren't solely dependent on the creator's action. And the proof of that is that fans form one-sided attachment to celebrities, fictional characters, and even AI chatbots. This attachment doesn't have to be always romantic. It can be a powerful form of friendship that fosters strong audience support. The great friend experience can be as powerful as the girlfriend experience. Ironically, many male streamers who heavily criticize VTubers for encouraging parasocial relationships benefit from the same dynamic with their own fan base, who also donates copious amounts to them. They just don't realize it yet.
This is crazy. Look at it's literally lagging. It's actually lagging. It's going so fast. Wait, how many subs am I at? I don't even know.
Yo. Hungry.
Happy 9/11? What the hell? Dude. let me see.
Whoa.
And this is why CDogs VA's call out on this commentator's hypocrisy hits the mark. How parasocial do you have to be to care when someone has more subs than your favorite?
This was when Connor went out to defend the mouse
streamer. The commentator who once called out immediately folded, proving he really only did this to rage bait Twitter ad revenue. And while there is certainly something to be said about the negative impacts of parasocial relationships when they are pushed too far, which I have discussed at length in my parasocial video, not all parasocial relationships are made equal. The intense dedication of VTuber fans, often translating into significant financial support for their favorite creator, is frequently misinterpreted. The term simp, used to label these fans as pathetic individuals throwing money at anime girls, is a gross oversimplification. While some fans might fit the stereotype, the same could be said of fans of many.
It's entertainment. You could definitely spend that money somewhere else. I mean, it's none of our business what a person, spends his money on. It could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be, the newest gadget, stuff like that. Anything and everything from sneakers to video games. In other words, it's simply not our business to actually get on with it. And you know what? Judging another person for his taste, is cringe, okay? It's not like you're not any better, if you judge someone else based on what he likes to do on his spare time or what he spends his money on.
Many male streamers like Asmongold or XQC. There are extreme cases, but most VTubers fans live normal, healthy lives. The VTuber community is an incredibly diverse community, encompassing a wide range of people, and reducing them to unhealthy losers is simply inaccurate. In fact, the term simp is often used derisively against anyone who expresses support for women, and is often used by men to tear down other men. And if you've been in online gaming spaces, you've heard that term frequently. It's nothing new. You could be in a game lobby, a woman speaks, it provokes a reaction, and then the one guy that says, "Come on guys, let's just focus on the game," will get called a simp. It's just become another word that is overused and has lost all meaning. To wrap this up, a large portion of the fan base lives shockers normal lives. They are healthy, well-dressed, and are functioning members of society.
And they probably
there's even a woman in there. Yep, I know. I know, you didn't see that one coming, did you? There is a clip often used to represent VTuber fans that went absolutely viral for all the wrong reasons.
4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year's!
Oh.
And understandably, it's easy to mock, but I've spent New Year's Eve similarly alone, and I wonder if the reaction would be the same if it were a woman sitting there. For many, these online celebrations offered comfort and connection. Ultimately, he's just enjoying himself, and it's become very normalized to openly mock those who dare to express their passions openly. Same with this instance where a TikTok creator by the name of Noah Glenn Carter made a video mocking the crowded line.
Yeah, I think Connor covered him, and the consensus was he wasn't sorry about what he said, or he wasn't sorry about what he did. He was only sorry because the community turned against him, or that people turned against him. That was it. He got caught. He didn't get, didn't feel sorry for what he did at all.
Up for an ironmouse virtual meet and greet.
This might be the saddest video on the internet.
Yeah.
So I want you to take a look at all these people. They were all trying to get the attention of a monitor. Basically, that's a popular VTuber on the monitor that was virtually attending an anime convention. And this whole crowd of people were following the monitor in hopes that they could get a picture with it.
Which, it just feels so free to me. Like, would you go up and mock people lining up for a new iPhone release, or to go see their favorite music
how about
band?
we all just, not judge each other for what we do in our spare time or our tastes?
Like, you're so pathetic. Your event is popular. Internet, are we okay? To be fair, Noah did end up retracting his video and released an apology once called out for it. But it's something that would have been totally avoided if he just did an ounce of research before pressing the upload button on his video. This whole topic of hating on VTubers kind of reminds me of that George R.R. Martin quote. Toxicity is growing. It used to be fun talking about our favorite books and films and having spirited debates with fans who saw things differently. But it's no longer enough to say, I did not like this book or this film, and here's why. People would rather talk about the stuff they hate than the stuff they love, and delight in dancing on the graves of anyone whose film has flopped. Very based, but also, George, I need you to stop giving interviews and go back to finishing your goddamn book, motherfucker. I was also surprised to find that a large portion of VTuber haters think VTubers don't put any efforts into their content past the initial cost.
What effort? There's a reason. If I knew how, I would. But there's a reason why I can't move my hair, okay? I don't know how. But you guys, rest assured, if I knew how to do this, it would happen, okay?
Of setting up the model, when in fact the main draw to VTubers is probably their vibrant and highly produced streams.
I mean, yeah, sure, it looks like a lot of effort to set up, but once that's all said and done, what the fuck are you doing? Literally, all they do is sit there and go, thank you for the donation, Oni-chan senpai, uwu. It's fucking pathetic.
Now, there are drawbacks to the medium, because it's mostly 2D, which means there is very movement allowed. Yet, VTubers have found incredible ways to keep their streams fun and highly produced. There's VTuber awards, there's VTuber game shows, VTuber date shows, creative VTuber collabs, and VTuber concerts. And with enough budget, we also get into the whole 3D part where there is so much more flexibility in terms of movement, world building, and what we can do. One video that went particularly viral, especially on TikTok, was from a Thailandese VTuber who performed at a concert, which became a huge meme. There are TikTok videos mocking him, garnering millions of views, and mocking the fans whom they believe paid $300 for the concert ticket, when in fact it was only 300 baht, which is equivalent to $9 USD. And I know I'm being repetitive here, but it just happens every single time. People still believe to this day that they paid hundreds of dollars for the concert, which blows my mind.
But some people simply can't handle the truth.
People paid for this? I mean, I hate to be that
Yes, they
guy,
did.
but this is
Money
not a
well
good
spent.
investment of $200. I mean, you just wasted your money staring at a screen.
This VTuber just wanted a chance to share his singing, but instead got harassed, sent death threats, and even doxxed. And what did people have to reply to that? That it was deserved and that he tried to take the easy way out by becoming a VTuber. Why is this normalized? VTubers and anime are intertwined in aesthetic. So if you
people fear and hate what they don't understand, I think we've established that like a very long time ago, historically speaking.
dislike anime, you probably won't be attracted to VTubers in the first place. Anime has grown in popularity in the past few years, which has made it something more mainstream to like. But there are still remaining stigmatization associated with it. VTubers and their fan base are often described as perverts. And you know what? We are. But we're
Yes, we are.
also adults, so we can be. So take your Puritan beliefs elsewhere. For people that aren't anime fans, VTubers are weird for sure, and accepting that is the first step. Trying to explain what VTubing is to a normal person is extremely difficult. Even to this day, whenever someone sees something anime style, they just associate it with cartoon, which equals kids in their head. They see adults enjoying things that they've decided is for kids, so they automatically assume it's weird. When confronted with something unfamiliar,
it's more of a boomer thing. I believe I told this story before. My first ever my first ever anime series, or the first ever anime that I ever saw was Dragon Ball Z. And it was an old network, defunct network. Here's the thing, right? Dragon Ball Z, it was meant to be put in order, but you know what? It was showed weekly. But it was confusing. Why? Because in this episode, Goku was still a kid. He still had his tail. But on the next episode, he'd be an adult. He'd have a kid. He'd be married. And then on the following episode, we're not even seeing the same characters. And then it was only like years after that I found out. I met the producer of that network, and I met the programmer for that network. The one who was responsible for basically scheduling the show, or which file or tape that was meant to go on for that particular time slot for that particular week. He didn't know what anime was. He saw what was inside the tape. He saw Dragon Ball. He thought it was simply a cartoon show. He was a boomer. He was an old man. So he thought, oh, it's a cartoon. So he didn't know that it was meant to be put in chronological order. He didn't know that it was meant to be placed in an episodic version. He simply just put it up at random. So without knowing, without even asking anyone, he put it up that way, and he ruined the experience of Dragon Ball Z for a lot of people. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people lost their jobs when that network went down, but you know what? At a certain level, you just need to get on with the time. The times have changed. Because it definitely ruined Dragon Ball Z for me. He simply put it up because usually cartoons, Hanna-Barbera cartoons, usually doesn't come in order. He thought it was simply like that, so he put it at random. He didn't even bother to look at the numbers on the tape. He just put it up at random like a regular cartoon. Oh, I'm so sorry. I still haven't gotten over the whole thing.
brains strive for consistency. If we encounter something that challenges our existing beliefs or understanding, it can create a cognitive dissonance.
See, to him, there wasn't even a challenge. He simply thought it was cartoons, and you know what? It's for kids. They don't even know what they're thinking, or they don't even know what they're doing. So I'm just gonna put the tape up.
Of mental discomfort. To alleviate this discomfort, people resort to negative judgment or rejection of the unfamiliar, which is exactly what we are seeing go down on social media right now. This article in The Simpsonian explains why anime is considered weird to a lot of people. In my experience, many people are hesitant to watch anime because they're simply not used to the animation style, finding it too unconventional or unattractive. Anime characters often...
And there was a time where a lot of cable networks tried to dub anime because anime was apparently too Eastern or too Asian for them, so they tried to call it Japanimation to put their own American or Western spin on it. Thankfully, it didn't catch on. Japanimation. Imagine if that campaign worked, we'd be calling it Japanimation instead of anime today.
have very distinct and exaggerated facial expressions, often with large and eccentric eyes. The way anime artists depict movement in the face and body also differs from that of Western animation, specifically the animations of characters' mouth when speaking. I also feel that a lot of people who are quick to judge or deem anime as weird do so through the association of the people they know who watch anime. Just because the kid you bullied in high school for being weird watched anime doesn't mean all anime is weird, and most of all, it doesn't mean you wouldn't enjoy some.
Personally, myself, I don't get the appeal of VTubing because I'm not attracted to minors, but that doesn't mean it's not special to some of you out there.
And finally, there is the lolly stigma associated with sexual degeneracy. In the West, people often don't know what is an actual lolly. Is it this? Or is it this? Heck, is ironmouse considered a lolly for them too?
I was thinking in this model if I should have put in a beard or a mustache, but I honestly didn't know how.
The definition of lolly changes so much from person to person, it's almost impossible to have.
I mean, can I even be considered as a yaoi or as a BL character? My god, so many questions now.
Everyone agree on it, regardless of how knowledgeable they are on the topic. And the truth is, most normies won't know the difference. While some believe animes set in high school are considered lollies, the most accepted definition of lolly is not even sexual. The word lolly most often refers to a young or young-looking girl character in Japanese anime and manga. Meanwhile, the term lolicon is a genre of fictional media which focuses on young or young-looking girl characters, particularly in sexually suggestive or erotic manner. And while some characters may be lolly presenting, that doesn't mean that they are necessarily suggestive. One can go with the other, but it doesn't have to. One very vocal critic of VTubers and
I mean, there's a very fine line to it, but we all just have to be careful with the entire thing.
Was mainstream streamer Brittany Venti, who believes gawrgura, one of the most popular VTubers in the world's audience, was entirely consisted of.
You could definitely see a hint of jealousy.
PDF files, all 20,000 of them.
There's something called hololive now that they do in English. They have little lollies, prepubescent girls on YouTube, and my first impression of it was, oh, is this like a child show? Is this a kids show? Like kids can see it, kind of like Dora the Explorer, and like interact with.
Before I discovered VTubers, I used to see gawrgura, and I honestly thought she was an anime character about, you know, some anime series that I have yet to see. I used to see her around, but I honestly didn't know what VTubers were. So never really thought of it. I just simply thought that she was an anime character from an anime series that I have yet to see. That was it.
Then I come to find out, no, actually the chat is full of 40-year-old men getting off to the depiction of a 9-year-old. If being
I mean, she's judging the demographic, but I wonder what's her demographic. Who's watching her?
Sexualization of minors makes me a SJW, then call me Anita Policeman, because these icons should not be on the internet openly promoting.
I think there's a crossing the line there. I mean, what part was sexualized exactly?
Through some loophole of where they'll say, oh, actually this depiction of a 7-year-old child, they're actually like 1,000 years old, so it's fine. No, you are still masturbating to children.
Is she she has to be projecting, right?
The irony of this woman speaking like this wearing a Sony shoe necklace does not escape me. In the end, it's going to take a while for people to accept VTubing as a legitimate medium. But eventually, I do believe it will become more normalized like it is in Japan, where they feature VTubers on billboards, advertisement, and even as tourism ambassadors. Once we manage to get through all of these misconceptions and hatred that we're currently facing right now, I predict that in the future, VTubing will...
I believe we're gonna get over it, but I believe it's gonna take some time, and we're not going to get rid of the whole thing completely.
Simply become a way people use to represent themselves through online avatars, and it won't be solely connected to anime anymore. In fact, we're already seeing this movement happen slowly. So I just wish people would just take a second to get over the initial weirdness and understand the incredible
Get over yourselves. That's it, kids. Let's all just, you know, keep to our spaces and no need to judge each other.
VTuber has accomplished, because I legitimately think there are countless inspirational stories that solely happened because of this technology. For example, Subaru, a Japanese VTuber, has faced extraordinary challenges throughout her life. Born with a life-threatening heart condition that nearly claimed her life by age 14, she also survived a car accident and the devastating loss of her home to a fire. Driven by a desire to support her family after this tragedy, she joined Hololive seeking part-time work, and she became one of the most successful VTuber in the world. Fulgur Ovid is a male Nijisanji lifer who is disabled, yet was able to overcome this challenge through VTubing and was able to participate in a large-scale 3D concert. Similarly, ironmouse, a hugely popular VTuber, you've probably heard of her throughout my video, suffers from CVID, which is a disorder that severely compromises her immune system. This condition makes even simple physical interactions dangerous, making her dream of becoming an opera singer tragically unattainable. However, VTubing provided a unique path for Ironmouse to pursue her passion.
Just in a different space.
Solo concert, a breathtaking achievement, allowed her to share her music on a large stage. And in a touching VR chat moment, she managed to hold in her arms for the first time her dear friend Neanners.
Those adorbs. So awesome.
I'm gonna fucking cry too.
So adorable.
And this was such a touching moment when you understand everything that this gesture that most of us take for granted entails. Knowing the physical limitations of her illness and how VTubing technology enabled this truly intimate connection, something that would have been virtually impossible in real life, really demonstrates how truly incredible the medium of VTubing is.
Man, at the end of the day, I started VTubing because I was lonely.
Ironmouse forever.
The only reason why I started any of this was because I was lonely, and because I was at a point in my life where I was the lowest that I could ever be.
Definitely lonely, and I was definitely at a very low point in my life. That's why I'm here.
I struggled so much in my life, and
I love you so much. You have
Good for her. You know what? She deserves everything good coming to her.
I haven't done anything with my
Ironmouse forever.
This can't be it. There has to be more that I can do, and more things that I can do. And I just remember feeling so scared because I thought
this whole thing definitely saved her life.
Die and alone, and I'm not gonna get to do anything with my life.
Thank you for watching this video. You know what to do.
That was definitely touching. I'm sorry. I'm holding back tears right now.
Do like and subscribe and check out my other channels. Check out my Patreon if you want to support me even further and gain access to even more content. Enjoy the holidays. Until next time.
Bye! Thank you for watching, guys. Now, if you want me to check out other stories here on YouTube, please let me know in the comments. We upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. Please like, share, subscribe, do the whole notification button thing to help me out with the algo. And don't forget to check out our Twitch channel where you can catch me do this live. Now, class dismissed.